the real reason that red lures catch so many bass. So for years and years, the main theory was that red lures imitated crawfish. And while that may be a contributing factor, that theory has mostly been left in the past. And the leading theory these days is simply comes down to visibility. It's kind of twofold. The first one being red is simply the color that bass can see the easiest. It just, for whatever reason, it shows up in their eyes much better than other colors. And additionally, it contrasts pretty much everything else in the water. Nothing else naturally is going to be red. There's lots of browns and greens and blacks here and there, but there's not really anything that's ever red underwater except for maybe some gill plates. So the red just stands out extremely well in the water, and it makes it really easy for those bass to find and eat. Additionally, if you look at this, you've probably seen this video comparing how bass see colors to humans. And as you can see, when you apply the bass vision filter, the red looks pretty much identical, and it just stands out so much compared to those other colors. So it ultimately comes down to visibility. The main reason bass eat red lures a lot is that they can see it extremely well. This is one reason that red lures are so popular for fishing muddy spring water. But going back to the crawfish theory real quick, there's kind of a couple issues with it. The first one being most crawfish are not actually a bright red color. Most crawfish are more of like a brown, maybe some orangish. They even get kind of green sometimes. So it doesn't really make sense that red always imitates crawfish, even though a lot of bass never see red crawfish. And then also, the most popular lures that you fish in red are things like chatterbaits, crankbaits, lipless crankbaits. Those things don't really imitate crawfish at all. You're never really imitating crawfish, ripping a lipless crankbait through the water, or fishing a chatterbait real fast. So the lures you actually use, you're not really ever going to be imitating crawfish with those anyway, so it just doesn't make a lot of sense that red would imitate crawfish in most scenarios. It seems to be that red is simply a really visible color that the bass can hone in on extremely well, and when they're really aggressive, they really want to eat it.